fuck is up, my britches? If you are new here, hello, my name is Brittany. In today's video, I'm so fucking excited! It is time to share with you my favorite palettes of 2021. I have 20, I believe. I was gonna do like a rankings, but I'm like, no, ain't nobody got time. And I was like, I can't remember exactly which palettes I bought this year. So this is in my between everyday filming, all those sorts of things kind of went into this. These are just my favorite palettes. Some of them launched this year, some of them didn't. You're about to find out. So if you guys like these types of videos, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up or a thumbs down. That's cool too. If you're watching the playback, watching the live, I appreciate all you, especially the hate watchers. But make sure you guys are following me on all of my socials, especially Instagram and TikTok. And I'm so excited because today's video is sponsored by Ana Luisa, baby. You guys see me wear Ana Luisa jewelry all the damn time, but I picked this video specifically because one, it's popular. People love talking about palettes, right? But they have their sale, I think that ends tomorrow. I think it's closing out on the 20th, but they have buy one, get one 60% off again. They did this for, I think it was Black Friday. This is their best deal that they do all year, but I think since it was so popular for November, they brought it back for December. And obviously, we're gift shopping. I'm not sure if you would get your pieces in time for Christmas, but in the event that you like shop after whatever, or you gift after, it's fine. Ana Luisa has been basically the only jewelry brand that you guys have seen me wear with like a select few other pieces that I've worn, but I'm always wearing. You guys see, I'm always wearing their stuff. So I wanted to show you the pieces that they sent me this month. They're beautiful. I'm so excited to show you these. So let me give you guys, oh no, what happened? Why can't I zoom? Why is this doing this to me? Okay, well, I'm gonna just show you what they are. Normally I can zoom. What's happening here? Hold on. I don't know what's going on. This is disappointing. Okay, well, I'm supposed to zoom in and show you these things because you could obviously see them better, but look at just, okay, who doesn't love a fucking hoop, first of all? So I'm going to show you pictures in place because I don't know why my zoom's not working today. So let me show you the actual website of the first style first. I'm a hot mess already, guys. So the first style I'm wearing is Tia medium gold, which I love hoops. I'm always wearing hoops. You guys know this. I love the fact that they're starting to get into, because they do more, I'm going to say more like dainty styles, which I love, especially for like my second holes or like the stacking. But I love a big chunky hoop. I love bigger, like just basically like lighter hoops. I love it all. Okay. So this is what's happening on the ears today. So I have Tia medium gold on the first hole basically, and then on my second holes I have two different styles. So the first one I have is Bonnie, which is on this side, so it's got like 5 little stones in there. They're just super cute. This one I think would be so ideal, especially for like up here. I need to like get moving on these piercings because these, like, especially like styles like this, it just makes me want to go all the way up my ear or even like inside your ear, you know. Super fucking cute. And then the last style that they sent me this month was Mally, which is this one right here. So when you first look at it, it's almost like this. So I was like, did I pick that? Because they usually let me select which ones that I want to get. So I put it in my ear. I'm like, wait. But then I was like, oh yeah, you turn it up. And it almost gives you like that stacking moment. I love this. I think it's so damn cute. I'm going to post pictures on like my Instagram. You guys saw me do an unboxing on my Insta story already. I'll post these on TikTok as well. But I'm also really excited. Where is my box? They sent me a little gift box. Let me grab it really quick for you guys. They sent me this. Oh, you guys are going to see this. Don't mind my background, okay? It's a hot fucking mess in this room. So I wanted to share this with you guys because I plan on putting this in my next giveaway. They sent me this little gift set. And since, like, this is a style I would totally rock, but I think, like, the presentation of this, I just wanted to gift it to one of you guys. So this is what the set looks like. I'm so pissed my Zoom is not working. Oh my God. Any other day it does. So it's got these little danglies Oh my god, and it's got like an oval shape. They're so, so pretty. So expect to see those in a future video. But I love the quality of their products. I love the fact that they do minimal packaging. I've worked with them all damn year, I think. So you guys know that I love their stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to work with a brand that I don't love. And I could not be happier with every single piece of jewelry that I got this year. You've seen me wear it all the time. You get it. You're going to see them in my Best in Beauty. Okay, so it's just like no brainer for me for like working with them. Y'all get it, right? I'm sure you guys all came for the palette. So thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring today's video. If you guys do shop Ana Luisa, I do have a link in my description box. Just click that. It's basically just a tracking link. That's how they know where you guys come from. And that's how I continue to get these opportunities to work with them, because you guys shop through the link. So obviously, if you're interested, use my link. I love everything. Paris is my favorite that I got in all year. Spoiler. So let's dive in now. Guys, are you excited for today's video? I'm so fucking pumped. I see there's 51 thumbs ups. Y'all are going to need to come through because there may or may not be a giveaway, and y'all might shite yourself when you see what we're giving away today, okay? If you love what's on my eyes, you're going to want to stay, okay? Y'all are like, but wait, Britt, what's on your lip? I'm wearing Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk as my lip liner. And then I'm wearing Augustine from the Nars Audacious. I'll make sure I link what's on my face because I'm feeling the fuck out of this look today. Don't mind me, just over here feeling myself, okay? All right, so I'm going to start with, I feel like this is no surprise to anybody that watches my videos. I'm a fan of neutrals, okay? I love neutral palettes, but I did have some colorful palettes this year. So I think I'm going to get the colorful palettes out of the way first, and then get into my more like neutral. We'll see how it goes though, because I'm a mess as per usual. You guys all know this. Y'all here? Woo! All aboard the Hot Mess Express. I already opened it because I've been drinking as I got ready today. It's Sunday fun day, right? Thank you guys so much. Y'all say I'm beautiful. You guys are going to give me a complex, damn it. Okay, let's start with my first favorite palette of 2021. I immediately was like, yup, no question about it. This is definitely a favorite of 2021. The Indi Beat Cosmetics, the Platinum Hits, the original palette. So this is the first of the two. This one is definitely more if you're into colorful eyeshadows. Oh no, I broke one. This is basically a palette just filled of duochromes. It's so fucking beautiful. I'm pretty sure I swatched this on my TikTok, maybe on my Instagram. I've swatched this damn palette in so many videos. How many of you got this palette? Because I'm just like, for $69, and then I think my code is Britches, or Britches 10 or Britches 15. It's Britches something. It's in the description box. If you guys use my code on top of that, you get a discount, obviously, off of the $69. To get a palette just filled of special shades like this is 100% worth the price, in my humble opinion. Some of my favorite shadows in here is Firework. Look at, this is where it's like, these eyeshadows do not fuck around. Look at them. Just look at how intense. Like, these are if you love color, but if you want those really punchy metallics, this palette is incredible. Packaging, I always say it because I'm a packaging snob. I don't love the packaging just because it's like your typical like cardboard style packaging. If that had luxurious packaging, I'd be like, bitch, fuck me up. I'm already feeling that way over that palette just from like this right here. But that palette, it really took me by surprise. And the fact that it's an indie brand out there fucking crushing it, I love it. And you're going to see probably another palette. Oh my God, my emails are going up. I'm a mess. Okay, y'all know this. This is what you signed up for. Next palette, another indie brand, another colorful palette. And I was just in love with this palette. I don't know what about it was that I love so much, but DD Signature, they usually do basically palettes that are based off of like fruits and stuff like that. So usually they have like these like super, like, how do I want to explain it? Like really different sort of a packaging as far as like the shape of them. There's a word that I'm looking for and I'm totally missing it right now. So they came out with these skewer palettes and I was much more excited about these because they have like your rectangular packaging. The other packages are basically just more difficult to store. When it's something like this, it's way easier. You still got like the fruit theme. But the inside of this, there was something about this color story that just really just, I don't know. I was like, Brittany, you don't like usually anything like this. What's happening? It was just something about especially these metallics they're doing. Oh my god, I'm so fucking hyped. DD Signature is doing a neutral palette and I'm about to like shit my pants over it because I'm just like, oh my god. The quality of this is incredible, and the fact, again, it's indie brand and they're out here crushing it. I love this. And it's just a really different color story for me. It's the quality, it's just everything about it. I was just in love with it, but mainly like these freaking shadows were just beautiful and they're super inexpensive. Not that that was, like, even a thought. Like, I don't, like, when it comes to the best palettes of the year, cost, to me, really isn't even a factor. It's just how I felt about them. Like, how excited I was about it. I could not stop talking about this. Like, when they first came out, I couldn't stop swatching it. I just kept, like, hyping this one. It was this one specifically, because there was, I think, 3 other ones. That one is just beautiful. That was the Exotic palette, and it's stunning. Another colorful palette, or more colorful for my liking, is the Odin's Eye with Annette's Makeup Corner, I'm pretty sure. Annette Obrestadt. I'm pretty sure that's Annette's Makeup Corner. I love this color story, and the quality of these eyeshadows is just spectacular. But mainly, these metallics, they're just so different. It's like a super colorful but grungy tone vibes, and I love it. And it's just this packaging, like Odin's Eye, they kill it on the packaging. Such a cool opportunity too to see, not like, I mean, they're not like small creators, but they're not also the biggest creators either, you know what I mean? It was just a really nice switch of seeing for a collaboration. You know what I'm saying? I really like this color story. That was the main thing that I loved about it, because it's so just grungy and different. And Odin's Eye, I'm pretty sure, is based in Sweden. So I feel like this is a brand that's not as, like, hyped up either, but it's like, this color story is just so pretty. I want to know, too, guys, what were your favorite palettes of 2021? Because obviously I didn't buy them all, so maybe I'll have to snag more. I mean, we will see. So, Odin's Eye, love that palette. This is the palette that really made me get into, at the time, Alien Cosmetics. But now they're known as Unearthly Cosmetics. I was so hyped about this Not Normal palette. And then I didn't have, like, the best first go around with it. Like, I think it was my first, or not my first look. I think it was, like, my second or third look. I had a little bit more difficulty with some of the colors. This packaging, though, I was so hyped for. But this color story, I was just like, bitch, I fucking love it. I loved every single thing, especially for, like, my taste in makeup. I like the neutrals, like I said, but I love greens, I love purples. Basically, like, browns, greens, purples, that's my shit. So when I saw this, I'm like, oh. Because Alien Cosmetics, they have very different color stories. They really kind of get me out of my comfort zone when it comes to eyeshadows. This one I felt like was the most, like, appropriate for what I look for, you know what I'm saying? So this is what was, like, the gateway palette into Alien Cosmetics, now Unearthly Cosmetics. I love this damn thing, though. It's so, so beautiful. They have the insane pigmentation, though, like, I'm, like, blown away every single time, and I almost get nervous because there is such thing as, like, too much pigmentation, you know what I'm saying? But I've just had a really great time playing with this palette this year. Obviously, I don't get to use my palettes, like, as much because I'm going through so many damn palettes, because I love buying palettes, okay? So I obviously can't use them as much as I want to, but I try, okay? Next palette I have is not one that I've really used that much. I just thought this was, one, a great quality palette, but also, like, I feel like this was just, like, an iconic collaboration because Glamlight and Michaela did this palette this year, And Glamlight is not really a big brand, and to be collaborating with somebody like Michaela, if you're unfamiliar, she is, if anything, probably like the top influencer when it comes to makeup on TikTok. She's got like 9 million followers or something crazy like that. So this was like a huge collaboration this year, at least in my opinion. So like I've said, I really like neutrals, you get it. But this one for me, I really was drawn to it just because you have your neutrals in the top row, but then you have your like splashes of color in here. But the metallics. The metallics are always so, so beautiful when it comes to Glamlight. That's what keeps me coming back to them, is because they just look so shiny and wet. And I really love the shades that she selected for this, because yes, they're colorful, but I also feel like they're like more wearable, or like a good like stepping stone into color. Kind of like a pastel moment, but not quite. Like, I feel like this one was way more approachable than like the Pastel Dream, I think it was called. Was that what it was called? The one that had like the ice cream cone on the front. This one was much easier for me to like dabble into, even though I really didn't use it that much, because it was like by the time I got it, nobody really cared about it anymore. But this is a palette I'm still like super glad that I got, because one, I felt like it was like an iconic collaboration, but I think that this would be one that I would continuously come back to, you know, just because it's like, oh, if I want something with color, but I still want neutrals, I can find everything just in that one palette. And I know the quality is going to be good because it's Glamlight. Makes sense? So that one I really like. Courtney's like, that palette looks amazing. Glamlight does have really, really great quality eyeshadows. I have not been disappointed as far as quality goes. Let's see. You can plan for spring, especially. See, Wanda knows. She gets it. Okay, now we're going to get into all like the neutrals. I have one that's, I'm kind of cheating with this one because it's definitely newer. Like, I just got this recently. But I'm so in love with this color story, and I was so happy with the look that I got with this. And it's just really different for my collection as far as the color story. And it was, I think, the first time I've ever used Viseart. But this Viseart, the Paris Atoli, first of all, it's just super cute, and it's super inexpensive, so I love that about it. This just screams, like, sexy, like, date night. I don't know. There's just something about it. You know when you could just look at a color story and be like, I don't care, I just love it. That's how I feel about this one. And I was honestly really surprised as far as, like, the kick that these metallics give. Like, they looked a lot more like shiny and reflective than I was expecting. I just had a really great time playing with this. So it was definitely like a learning curve for me for this, because they do apply a little bit different than I'm used to. But once I got the hang of it, I'm like, oh yeah, these are bomb. And it's just like a cute little palette. It's like perfect for travel. It's more of the like sentimental aspect of it, I guess, that I like so much. I like the fact that it was like a newer palette. I've never tried the brand, and the color story is what I really like. So sometimes those are the things that really just make something feel special to me. And I'll explain further with other palettes as well. So the next one I have is actually the Indi Beat, the Platinum Hits 2. This was the basically neutral sister to the Platinum Hits 1. This palette is so fucking good. You've got basically all like incandescent sort of shades, so they all look white when you look at them, but they all have some sort of undertone to them. So like one's pink, one's more purple, one's more golden, one's more green. You've seen these types of shadows before, you know what I'm saying? So then you get into the bottom two rows. And these are, again, oh, this one's Starboy is just my favorite. It's so, so beautiful. This is just when I want a metallic that is just shiny, reflective. Again, it's an indie brand. And they're just coming out the gate with a full palette, just full of all these, like, duochrome, just glorious looking eyeshadows. I don't know how else to explain it other than I'm a sucker for some shiny eyeshadows. That's all that it is. I do like the aesthetic a lot more with this one, like with the white, with the gold, with the black. I just think it's really, really pretty. And again, the price point, it was like, you can't fucking beat that. For the quality of those shadows, to get that many at that price. And again, it was just one of those things. I was so excited to share this. I'm pretty sure like my TikToks did really well with these palettes because of all those things that I just talked about. Like, don't sleep on, oh, I just dropped my my Busy Art palette. Do not sleep on those Indi Cosmetics palettes if you like a more like shiny reflective sort of a moment, okay? Now, if there's a brand that I have the most palettes of, it's Natasha Denona for 2021. She came out with some great palettes, and then I also got some great palettes this year. So I have to include the Glam Face palettes, both of them, because both of them are incredible quality. But I have to include these because, yes, they're newer. I had zero expectations, no like intention on buying these whatsoever. And then I was in store and I'm like, oh, they're way prettier in real life than they look in pictures. So this one is definitely my favorite. I do prefer the deep version over the light version just because of how I like to do my eyeshadows. Like, I love this sort of a moment because it's very flattering for my eyes. But I love the fact that she did a lighter version and a deeper version. And I love the fact that she did, even though I'm not the biggest fan of her face products, there's something different about especially the like metallics in this palette, even with the not the original, even with the light version, her metallics seem to be way more like shiny and sparkly than they typically are. That was just one thing that really caught my attention. The packaging is beautiful. Like, in my opinion, this is the most beautiful packaging I think she's done so far. We'll see what she comes out with in the future, but I want to show you guys the light version as well. Like, the packaging is so stunning, but it's just, it's so good. I'm like reading the chat at the same time. So, like I said, I do prefer the deep version. I did a video comparing the two side by side. It was interesting to me because I prefer the deep version on myself, but people were saying that they preferred the lighter version on me. So if you guys want to see how these look on my complexion, I do have that video. If I remember, I'll link it for you guys, but I'll probably forget. I'm not gonna lie. So these two palettes, they really did take me by surprise. But if I had to pick a favorite palette that she came out with this year, it's definitely the Retro. This is just a palette for me that is everything that I want in a palette. Because I love these purpley, like, purples, burgundies, like, all of these eyeshadows are gonna make my eyes just go insane. Like, these are just the most flattering shades for my eyes, which is why I always gravitate towards purples, greens, and neutrals. They just make one of my favorite features of myself really stand out. So the quality of this is incredible. I've had this shit, I think since it launched, this became basically like my wedding palette. Anytime I was filming weddings, this was pretty much all that I wore after I received it. I really like this packaging. I like these midi palettes actually a lot, just because it's a better price. You get a fair amount of like variety for the price. You're getting to dabble into like the Natasha Denona formulas and stuff like that. This is definitely one of my favorites that she's done. But if I had to pick a favorite Natasha Denona palette of 2021 for me, this did not launch this year. And I'm frozen. I love that for me. Come on, don't be frozen. Unfreeze. 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 My camera fucking sucks. Come on. Come on. You can do it. My camera disconnected. Wow, we're just like really killing it today, right? The beauty of lives, everybody. Can you guys see me? It's always a fucking shit show up in here, I swear. Okay, I don't know where that left off. I'm sure you guys could hear me, but you probably couldn't see me because my cable, I need to get a new cable. I think that's what it is. So we just finished talking about Retro. I fucking love it. But if I had to pick a favorite that didn't launch this year but was a favorite, I gotta go with fucking Biba. And you know why? One, it was a gift. So I will cherish this for the rest of my fucking life. I wanted this palette for so long. So long. You guys all know, right? There is something different about this palette, though. I don't know if it's just up here, so don't take my word for it. But when I touch these eyeshadows, I'm like, these are different. They feel like silky smooth. Like, I understood. Like, everything made sense. Like, the first time I was like, all right, let me, like, repress these. Because some of these came damaged. When I first touched these, I'm just like, I get it now. I get why everybody loved this palette. And did you guys see there's a mini Biba coming too? Ah! I'm like, go fucking figure. As soon as I get the full size, a mini Biba comes out. But let me tell you what, this palette, I would 100% buy this at full cost. After using it, like, I don't know why I never bought this, but now that I have it and it was gifted to me, it's even more special. So that is just one thing that's automatically going to put it at like the top of my list, because this is just one of those things that I will think of that person every single time I use it. I'll just think of like everything that we went through together. Like, it's very sentimental to me. That's where I'm just like, yeah, like, I don't give a shit if it didn't launch this year. It's a favorite because of many reasons. Okay, guys, I see you guys talking about the mini Biba. Do you guys want me to get it and compare it? Let me know. Because I'm leaning towards no, because it's like, why would I need it now? But I love a neutral palette, so I feel like I kind of need it. You guys let me know. Anywhoosies, let's continue. Let's go to a palette that technically launched last year. I did a video on this when it first launched. And there's just, to me, there's something so special about it. And I feel like there's been nothing done that either reminds me of it, that looks like it. It's just a palette that really stands on its own. And it's very like my makeup aesthetic. And that is the Scott Barnes. It's technically called the Atelier collection, or not collection, the Atelier palette, but this one is like the original. It was called Glamazon. So mine, I'm pretty sure it says Glamazon. Maybe it doesn't. But either way, I don't care. I still love it. The only critique that I have of this palette is the gold. I think silver would have been so much more beautiful. But this palette, there's something about like the color story, the textures. I always say this, I'm like, listen, his brand is so underrated. I don't care what anybody says. I do plan on doing a Scott Barnes video coming soon if you guys want to see more of like what I have and stuff like that. But this color story, I just look at it and I'm like, this is my makeup aesthetic. I love it. It's very like 90s, like Glamazon, I feel like was the perfect name for it. I love it. And the undertones, they all lean, I think, a little bit more cool. This is just overall such a unique color story for my collection as well. Again, I feel like his brand is incredibly underrated, so I definitely still love that palette. It was one of my favorites still of 2021. And let's do Charlotte Tilbury really quick, because this one, I feel like I was kind of back and forth about it. I almost bought it, then I didn't, then I finally did. The Charlotte Tilbury, the Instant Eye Smoky Eyes Are Forever palette. So this is basically the holiday palette for this year. The reason that I like this one so much is because it's probably the closest that I think has come to like the Fire Rose palette, which is why I love this so much, because one, you have like the splashes of green in here, but the metallics in this palette are freaking stunning. And this, again, it's just my makeup aesthetic. It's just a beautiful fucking palette. And that's all that I could say about it, is I think that the palette is just aesthetically beautiful. The formulas, they work insanely well. And I think my favorite thing about Charlotte Tilbury is the fact that she makes, I think, like shimmers and satins so much more approachable for me, because they look so good on like my hooded eyes, more textured lids. Basically, like, everything that has my concern, I feel like she just has it down as far as formula goes to look so freaking flattering. So I love this one. I don't really love the black packaging on it, but I don't care at the end of the day. I think it's a beautiful palette. And like those splashes of greens were what really did it for me for that palette. I just think it's so pretty. We're gonna get there, Josephine. Calm down. She's like, what's on your eyes right now? We're gonna get there. Listen, Courtney, she's like, but it looks so boring. Have we met? Boring is literally my makeup aesthetic. I love it because that's when I get like the most compliments. Like when I wear something like this, it's so basic, but people like lose their shit. I could spend hours on like a super colorful look and people will appreciate it, but not like that. It's just, it's different. Oh my god, Grapefruit High Noon is fucking fire. Another palette. I'm so debating his newest palette right now. This is the Supreme Bronze from Artist Couture. I didn't really use this that much, but as far as quality, neutrals, I fucking love it. I like this one. If I were to pick between this one and the original, like the Supreme Nudes, I think I would still pick Supreme Nudes because it's got like the green in there. This one I like more for basically like summer. Just because you've got the orange, you've got more gold tones in here. You definitely have like this row of cooler tones. I think you have more like flexibility with this palette, maybe. At the end of the day, I'm like, they're just both neutral and I love them. And the quality of this one was fantastic. I love this whole, basically like this whole aesthetic. I like when he does like the 12 pans with this packaging. Like his packaging is so nice. His smaller palettes though, questionable. That's the thing. Like I love Artist Couture, but very inconsistent. So that's where I'm like, I'm debating between getting like the Quickie palette just to have it and compare it. But then again, like his other mini palettes are awful. Like some of the worst in my collection, if not the worst in my collection. So it's like when he comes out with palettes like this, I'm like, what happened? What's happening with these palettes that makes them so much better? Because both of his 12 pan palettes have been absolutely fire. But his smaller palettes, there's just something about them that doesn't do the same. You may fire me for this, but I am just not drawn to Scott Barnes. It's not going to be for everybody. I think Scott Barnes is definitely appealing to me as far as like makeup artist. And I love that you could like mix everything. I think it's more of like him that really inspires me. And I love just his makeup aesthetic. And I love watching him work and then duplicating that. You know what I'm saying? I get it though. Like it's not going to be for everybody and his prices are definitely more expensive. I always recommend don't ever buy Scott Barnes at full price just because of how often he has sales. I get it though, but this palette, like can you think of another palette that looks just like that or looks anything similar? I just think he's so talented. Like me raving about Scott Barnes for way too long, okay? All right, moving on from Scott Barnes. Next palette I have is because every basic bitch loves purples, right? Let's talk about Huda Beauty, the Rose Quartz palette. I lied. I lied accidentally. When I said, like, when I first talked about this palette, I was like, this is the first big Huda palette. No, this isn't the first big Huda palette. I have the new Nude palette. But this is the second Huda palette that I've tried. And the quality of this is amazing. Her metallics are insanely beautiful. Like, stunning. Everything that I look for in a metallic, this has. Her matte formula is incredible. And I just love the fact that Huda does not give a flying fuck about what anybody says. She just does whatever she wants. Because everybody bitched about, like, the shade that was like that came out last year. And she's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do it again. And you know what? This palette was, I think, a huge success. The packaging is stunning. But the main reason I love this is because it's the neutrals. You've got, like, the purples, the pinks. Overall, just a very unique color story as well. For being, like, purples, pinks, I think this leans more on the neutral side, which I feel like is different. Right? I don't know. I feel like this was a really, really good banger for her this year. Right? I feel like I'm not alone in that one. I love this Huda palette. Yes. It's funny to me that people call this a purple palette. Okay. I understand your critique by saying that, like when people call it a purple palette, because when you look at it, you're like, it's not purple, right? But when you do looks, let me tell you what, this is one thing that I could say about the new Nude palette as well. These translate incredibly different when you put them on your eye. Everything that I've done with this palette, it leans more purple. You would not think that it's from this palette. So that's where when I say every basic bitch loves purples, This is like a basic bitch neutral can transition really quickly into a purple palette. That's what I say, like, when I mean that. But yeah, I could totally see what you're saying. Okay. Calm down. I'm just kidding. You're like, bitch. Okay, next palette. I'm so surprised that this is like still sold out. I guess I shouldn't be, just because I feel like everybody loved this palette this year. The Patrick Ta, the Major Dimension eyeshadow palette. If he did an entire palette of these cream shadows, I would 100% buy it. There's something, like, I'm not even that bitch when it comes to I usually don't like cream shadows at all. As far as, like, just a cream. Like, I can get down with, like, put the cream down, then put the powder on top, like the Oryx, the Tom Fords. I can get down with that. I'm telling you, if he launched a palette that had all these in there, I would buy it. Just because of how well these last, how creamy they are, but they're not too creamy. Like, they don't move around. It's like you lay them down and they're staying right where you put them. They listen, all right? They do what they're told. And then this is just overall the most, like, beautiful bronze moment for an eyeshadow palette. His metallic formula isn't my favorite. It kind of reminds me a lot of Vive, but it's different. When you put it on your eyes, it really, like, shines. Like, when I swatch these, for example, you're like, not really sure how I feel about it. But when you put them on your eyes and you layer them, they look beautiful. I feel like his, like, brand aesthetic is very much that. Like, the more you layer, the better it looks. I felt the same way about his lip glosses. Like, at first I was like, listen, Patrick, love the formula, but I hate layering it so much. But then I started layering it and I'm like, okay, now I get it. I get it, because everything comes to life. It's almost like these sparkles just they're just like, oh, I'm here now. There's just something really, really special about Patrick Ta's products as well. I love that damn palette. But I feel like no one's going to be surprised by this one. They might be surprised by what I say about the other palette if you haven't seen any of my more recent videos, but every single person here that watches my video knows the obsession with Vive, right? We all know this by now. Let's talk about the best. I forgot that came out. I gotta glue that down again. Let's talk about the best palette that she's done. I'm not really the biggest fan of the Muse palette. I was expecting to love it. I think I had really high expectations of it. This palette is just pure perfection. I'm so pissed about that, but luckily it just glues in there. As far as quality, blendability, color story, every single thing. Oh, this is just, it's killing it. I love it. It's just a palette. It honestly reminds me of Jamie. And if you've seen Jamie's, like, makeup, the grunginess, she's chef's kiss. I can't even. So this palette has been a favorite. It's still carried into 2021. I still feel like this color story is what really keeps it going strong in my collection, and just how everything just looks when you're finished. It's beautiful. Oh my god, I almost died. I would have been so upset if that shadow shattered. Holy crap. So let's talk about, we're coming to the end, okay? We're coming to the end. If you guys haven't yet liked the video yet, you should. I about lost my shit this year when it came to Nars. Nars just came out with guns blazing. Every single palette that they did that was a 9-pan blew me out of the water. Summer Solstice, the what was it? Summer Solstice. There was another one, like the Uninhibited, I think it was, and then the Climax palette came out. Oh my god. This is one of the most unique color stories I think I've ever seen in an eyeshadow palette. And this for fall, oh my god. But one thing I will say about this palette is the textures, as far as like the metallics go, are different than what you typically get from Nars. Like super shiny, reflective, but usually with Nars you get more sparkle. So this one kind of took me by surprise, but it was overall the color story that I was just like, Oh my god. The only thing that would have made this better would be, one, different packaging. I don't really love this red with this color story, but if this had those sparkle shades in there, I would have about lost my damn mind. But next to that palette, like, don't get me wrong, I love those other two palettes, but I had to rank these ones, like, with everything else just because Nars done fucked up with this palette. I don't understand why this was not available anywhere. Like, this I had to get from the Nars website, like, when it first launched, and now I don't think you can get this anywhere. Like, I wish that I bought two so I could have done a giveaway with it, but this is the Nars Bijoux Palette. And let me tell you something about this, alright? This is my perfect eyeshadow palette. If I had to pick one palette, it's between this or the next one for best palette of 2021, because I feel like this one kind of wins because of, like, the exclusivity of it, like, because you can't get it anymore type of thing. So these, like, especially these three eyeshadows, I was just in awe of how stunning. Like, they have that sparkle factor to them that is so breathtaking. They've got shimmers, mattes. This color story, if you had to pick a perfect palette for me, this is it. It's got literally every single thing that I need in an eyeshadow palette. And this packaging, like, the whole, like, bondage moment, I live for it. But I'm telling you, like, Nars done fucked up. Why wasn't this at Sephora? Why? I think the only place that I saw this available was Nars and maybe Saks for, like, 5 seconds. This was incredibly difficult to find this year. If you could find it, worth every single penny. In my humble opinion, it's so, so good. I've never tried their eyeshadows. Nars complexion stuff is A1. I am usually opposite. I usually don't like their complexion stuff. Except for, like, a select few products. I feel like more times than not, I'm disappointed with Nars complexion, but their eyeshadows, like, as long as it's, like, 9 pans, and this one is breathtakingly gorgeous. Yes, I totally agree. Nars stepped it up this year, and I was like, where have you been, Nars? Because I really fell in love with Nars last year. I got the Orgasm X Quad sent to me by Look Fantastic. I tried that. I did my best look of 2020 with that palette, and I was just like, all right, everything that Nars launches, I'm going to try to get. But then they started doing the 9 pans, and I'm like, oh yeah, like, that I think is just, like, what they should stick to. The 9 pans, the 12 pans, like, I am all about that life. Yes, bitch. And then a close second, or maybe tie, I don't know, because I love these palettes both for so many different reasons, but nobody's going to be surprised when I say the best palette of 2020 was the Vanity Makeup, the Signature palette. I am just in awe. One, of the feedback that this company got of the price point. I was just like, listen, I regret nothing. This packaging is luxury. It's beautiful. This color story is everything. Like, literally everything that I could want in a neutral palette. And these shimmers are fucking breathtaking. Kind of gives you, like, Nars vibes because they're sparkly. But this is another one. Every time I wear it, I'm getting compliments left and right. The blendability, every single thing about this. Like, if I was getting married, this would be the palette that I would either get, or maybe Biba, maybe the Nars. Like, I feel like that's kind of my top 3. This one, Nars, Bijoux, and Biba. Yeah, that would probably be my top ones. I know, fucking boring as shit, but it is my makeup aesthetic. Let me tell you guys. See, you guys are saying. I should say, let you guys tell everybody else. That's what I should say. Best palette of 2021. Agree 100%. See? Looks like packaging, except better. Totally agree with that. Like, this, it's luxurious. You know what? This is what I expect at a $95 price point. It's engraved. Or embossed, whatever you want to call this. Like, this is not a sticker. This is a sticker down here, but the Signature palette, like the name of the palette, they fucking killed it. I cannot wait to see what other palettes, like if they did like a green purple palette, or even just a purple or just a green, I hope they do more palettes because, oh my god, took me by total surprise. Like, even when you swatch them, it's like they look like nothing spectacular. It's when you put it on your eyes, that's when you're just like, oh, I get it now. Listen, y'all know how I feel about stickers, right? I'm trying to find a little, what you call it? Makeup wipe. Okay, listen. Are y'all ready? I'm wondering, are you guys ready? I'm going to need you guys to come through right now. What was your favorite palette of 2021? Because y'all are about to shat yourself. You guys ready for this? Were you guys wondering what's on my eyeballs today? Because this is still a palette. One of the best palettes of 2021. You guys ready? Who's about to be pissed? Charlotte Tilbury Fire Rose. I'm about to make a post on TikTok. I'm going to need everybody to come through. I'm like literally petitioning to Charlotte Tilbury for this palette. Do y'all remember this? This launched technically last year, I'm pretty sure, like the end of last year. This is still one of my most complimented palettes, most used palettes, because damn, this bitch is so beautiful. But it's not available anymore. Everybody's big mad. But you know what? I may or may not have a giveaway box with a Charlotte Tilbury Fire Rose palette in it right now. So, listen. I'm convinced, my good friend on YouTube, Charlotte Holdcroft, we're both convinced that this was one of the last Fire Rose palettes, like, of all time. At least of current. So, I'm so excited because, one, my beautiful friend Charlotte, she is actually who sent that to me. So, I'm going to need you guys to come through. If you guys want to enter, I'm so fucking excited about this. Because you know what? Everybody has said for the longest time how they missed out on this palette, yada, yada, yada. So I was like, all right, if I could find one, I'm going to gift one this year. So I have a Fire Rose. So this is what I'm going to need you guys to do to enter to win this thing, okay? It's going to be a little bit more than what I typically ask you guys to do, just because I can, all right? I'm going to need you guys, first thing, you're going to comment on this video your favorite palette of 2021 after the video post. So you're going to actually have to come back and leave a comment underneath so I could, like, track everything. Because in the live chat, sometimes it doesn't come up right away. So, you're going to have to come back and comment your favorite palette of 2021. You're going to have to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. All right? That's literally the one thing I got asked you guys to do every single video. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And I need you guys to also follow Charlotte Holdcroft. She didn't ask me to do that or anything like that. I want to do that because this giveaway would not have happened without Charlotte. So, again, comment your favorite palette of 2021. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And I need you to also leave your handle so I know where to find you because I'm checking. All right? I'm going to check. So, your handle, favorite palette, follow Charlotte Holdcroft on Instagram. Okay? Easy enough. Who do I gotta kill for this? I know, it's excessive, it's a pain in the ass, but you know what? There's more things in here than just the Fire Rose. That's like the star of the show, right? I also have in here the Danessa Myricks, the light work. This was basically like the face palette that came with the eyeshadow palette. I threw that in there. A Kaleidos lip mask. We've got a bunch of samples. I'm just going to show you guys everything that's in here. We've got some lip cheats from Charlotte Tilbury in here. I've got the mini of her airbrush setting spray. I've got a MAC blush in here. Lip balm from Jack Black, which is one of my favorites. A Tatcha liquid silk canvas mini. I've got a Nars blush. I think this is Orgasm X, one of my favorites. Laguna bronzer. We've got a bunch of like Hermes little lipstick things. It's just like a box of goodies that I just threw together, but the main thing is because of the fire rose. Like, I do need to open it just to make sure it's not broken, but she packaged it very well when she sent it to me. But guys, if you're not following Charlotte, like her and I did a collaboration last year. I got so far behind. I didn't like reach out to anybody to collab. So I did like collab with her. So you guys may be already following her, but just make sure you guys are following her because she's fantastic. She's one of my favorites on YouTube. Let's see. So is TikTok an app? Yes. It's basically like, if you're familiar with Instagram, like Instagram Reels, it's basically better. TikTok's like my favorite app. And you know what? Like the damn video, okay? We've got 110 thumbs up, so I'm going to need you guys to come through. All right, so you guys know what to do. I'll leave it in like a pinned comment as well so you guys know everything. But the main thing, like make sure you guys leave your handle so I know how to contact you if you guys win. I'm going to be announcing the winner on Christmas Eve probably, or maybe Christmas. Something in there. Let's do Christmas Eve. So we'll have it run for a couple days. Yeah, I'll do it Christmas Eve just to wish you guys like a Merry Christmas and stuff, because I don't think I'll be on social media probably at all on Christmas. So I'll do that. We'll do it Christmas Eve. I'll leave everything in the comments down below of like what to do, what to enter, just so you guys know. Okay? All right, everybody. I've been chatting for long enough. We've been here for 50 something minutes. I apologize again for the Hot Mess Express as per usual, but that's what you guys sign up for, right? So make sure you guys do check out Ana Luisa. They are linked at the top of my description box. Everything that I'm wearing today as far as jewelry goes, except for my nose ring. My nose ring is always just like Claire's. But every piece of jewelry aside from that is from Ana Luisa. I love them. I've worn their stuff like all year now. You already know, okay? I'm not going to work with companies that I don't like. So make sure you guys do subscribe if you are new. Give this video a thumbs up or thumbs it down. That's cool too. It's engagement either way. And I appreciate all you guys hanging out with me, watching. All of my socials, you know, everything's linked down below. And if you're wondering anything that I'm wearing on my face, you can also just like leave a comment for that and I will respond back. Okay? Other than that, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Happy Sunday. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for new makeup releases. Okay, bye!